it's Graham Makepeace-Warne, CEO of Manx Wildlife Trust, and this episode is about fungi. Fungi for me is really interesting. A lot of scientists now believe it should be the third kingdom after flora and fauna, and we're only just starting to understand just how fungi and mycorrhizal networks actually bring everything together, how the networks help trees and other plants to communicate with each other in really interesting ways.
Well, here we go then, and another little programme out and about, celebrating the wildlife of the Isle of Man and all its joys, in all its splendours. And there's so many things you can explore, whether you're on the hills, at the moors, down at the beach, out at sea, looking out to sea, doing that next week I think, in the veg plot as we've heard, looking around lakes or dubs or ponds. Today we're actually out and about up north of the island, and we have come for a brief foray. And when I say foray, I'm talking fungi. Not necessarily, I know a lot of people go out foraging for things for the pot, which of course you can do if you wish, as long as you're careful and you know what you're looking for, and do so with respect. But today we're just foraging to see, or go for a foray to actually explore the different types of fungi you can see. And you know what, we've only been out 5-10 minutes, and already I'm just with Liz from the Manx Fungi Group now. You've been here 10 minutes, and I think, what, already, how many different types?
Oh, about 5 or 6, I think. Yes.
It's incredible, isn't it? And this is just like, it's literally 10 minutes wandering around. I suppose it is the time of the year people most associate with fungi, but you can find them all year round.
You can, yeah. They're less easy to find other times of year. But now is the time they like it, when they're moist and warm, relatively warm.
And I think it's been, yes, because we've had a sort of fairly dry spell and just quite a lot of rain today, where we are blessed. I know we often go out mushrooming in the pouring rain sometimes, and they do like damp conditions. Today we're blessed a bit of sunshine, but damp underfoot, and it has been sort of damp and quite mild. Are these normally encouraging conditions for fungi, sort of a dry summer followed by a wet spell?
Yeah, perfect. Just perfect. Everything's popping up now. We're getting towards the time when we find the grassland fungi, which is October, November.
And just sort of set the scene a little bit for us, because obviously we've spoken about, and people go out and about, look at wild plants, wildflowers, the trees and whatever. Fungi often, for a lot of people, not for us of course, and not for the Manx Fungi Group, but often get overlooked somewhat. Just give us a précis, if you can, of the importance of fungi within the ecosystem.
Well, first of all, they are a kingdom of their own. Then they used to be kind of honorary plants in many ways, but people recognise now that there is a huge kingdom of fungi. They have various different sort of ways of living, and we've got the ones that live in harmony with green plants, and they are really, really important because they extend the root systems. They are mycorrhizal fungi, and trees and even the grass here, and mosses, they have fungi associated with them that help them to grow. They have a symbiosis, it's a mutual relationship. Mm-hmm. So the plants give the fungi sugars, and the fungi give the plants water and nutrients. Then there are the rotters. I really like the rotters. If we didn't have rotters,
like a rotter? Yeah.
If we didn't have rotters, we'd be over our heads in dead leaves, dead branches, dead bodies even, because they cause decay. And it may not be what you want when it's in your fruit bowl, but that's a very valuable process because it releases the nutrients ready for next spring's growth.
And I think that's what a lot of people maybe don't think about. As you say, without that, that cycle wouldn't happen.
It's the powerhouse for the ecosystem. Mm. It's what keeps it circulating and recycling.
And of course, just looking today again, what we're seeing, people go out, say they're going mushrooming or going looking for fungi. I think the thing again, as you've hinted at there, when you see the fungi, as we're looking at now, we've got a few at our feet, we just might take a look at in a moment. But this is just part of the system. No, it's not the whole organism. No,
it's the fruit body we're looking at. And it's great to be able to collect a few. What we have to remember is that we only got 0.5% of the island is woodland, and if we all decide we want to collect from our woodlands, there's not going to be an awful lot left. And okay, you're taking a fruit body and there's mycelium underground, but there's also a lot of trampling involved, and so people should think carefully and not take more than a few things, because people love to see fungi, love to photograph fungi.
Exactly. And we're here in grassland, but in essence you'll find different types of fungi in different habitat.
Yeah, certainly. This is a lawn, but there's a birch tree over there, and when you look to see what's around the birch tree, you find that there are things associated with it, the mycorrhizal fungi.
And we're just at our feet as we're talking. I mean, there's a couple of things here. There's one which I know you just looked at before, and this is one that people might recognise, and this is basically it's a field mushroom.
It's a field mushroom, yes. It's not quite the same species as the things you get in supermarkets, but it's very close to it. And you can see dark rings on old grasslands like this, and the bigger the ring, the older the grassland on the whole.
So this would be something people will be very familiar with and looking at and seeing these in grassland. What maybe they're not quite so familiar with, and a lot of people, if they weren't maybe coming out looking for fungi, you might just walk, and people just might walk over these.
I think I've walked past them already on my way to that birch tree. There are tiny white fingers sticking up in the grass, and these fingers are they're called clubs, but they're not wide at the ends. They're delicate little white fingers, about 2 or 3 centimetres high, and they're actually 2 or 3 different ones, so I'm going to take them back and have a look at the spores and make sure I get the identification right. But I think it's probably straw club.
And of course people might look at it and say, well, there's a big difference there, isn't it? If you look at your standard mushroom, as it were, the field mushroom we've got here, the clear gills that people are familiar with underneath, always a lovely pink colour on your field mushrooms, which you got here, or the mushrooms you might have at home and go black as they get a bit older. The spores come from there. No gills on the clubs coming up here. So how do they actually produce?
They will be producing spores from the same little cells, the basidia, but they're not actually on the gills. They're all over the outside of the club. They're actually both belong to you've split the fungi into spore droppers and spore shooters, and both of these, the mushroom and the club, they're both spore droppers.
So these will do exactly the same thing, but it's just not quite as obvious. But they'll just be, once they've matured, the spores will come out, and then again, even though they're only an inch or so above the sort of grass there, these will just get caught in the wind, and the spores will blow everywhere. That's
what the fungi are trying to do. That's their aim in life. The fruit body is to get spores into the airstream, and that's why you need short grass. And it's really important to, if you've got exciting fungi in your lawn, to keep the grass short. And in graveyards, all sorts of places where there's naturally short grass through the management, are fantastic places to look for fungi.
And again, we just mentioned the birch tree over there, so you do get these relationships where various fungi will actually grow or produce in association with certain types of tree, whether it's oak or pine or birch in this case.
Yeah, there's a very close relationship between the roots of a tree and the fungi, the mycelium of a fungus, and they have a mutual relationship. And at this time of year is the only time you know about it, when you see the fruit bodies popping up. And you can see these are all within about 4 feet, 5 feet of the base of the birch tree.
That's amazing. We just paddle over here, and again, you're just close to it, and they are all just around about the base, and these little ones down here. So we had a quick look. I know Karen from the Manx Fungi Group was having a look at these as well, and these, we reckon, what, a hebeloma, was it?
Yes, it's a poison pie, and you can guess that that's not going to be very nice to eat.
No.
Anybody asks.
And again, I know when we had a little look at one before, if I can just tease one out here, and just gently, never mind, but it's just going to have I know it's radio before anyone says, but it does have again, everyone thinks mushrooms smell of mushrooms, but they actually have very different scents.
There's some fascinating smells, unbelievable smells you get from fungi. There's one that smells of mothballs. Others are nitrous, or curry, or coconut, or extraordinary smells.
And I think that's the thing that people don't appreciate, because again, not everyone is going to actually go and smell a different fungi, but if I just, have a smell of this one, it is really...
It's sweet.
It is sweet, yeah. I'm trying to put
quite difficult sometimes.
Yeah, to actually name it, but it has a distinctly sweet aroma to it. Somewhere, it is quite distinctive, but I wouldn't like to say exactly what it is. But it's not that sort of straight, earthy, sort of bosky, mushroomy smell. It's got much more of a sweet note to it, so it's actually quite distinctive.
There is a sweet one. I can't remember exactly what its name is, Saccharoides or something like that.
And so we're on grassland now. We're going for a little foray today. So are we staying on grassland, or are we looking at different habitats?
We're going to go up Glen Aldin with the Wildlife Trust, because they've newly acquired this area and they want to know what fungi are growing up there. So we're going to go and explore in bits of woodland, moorland, grassland, plantation. I'm not quite sure. It's not an area I know.
Well, excitement then. Right. Well, we'll paddle around. I think the people are sort of assembling, and we're going to amble up in that direction and see what we can find. A great time of year to go out mushrooming, or go out and seeing what you can find. I mean, that's part of the idea. If you're listening to this and you've never had a look at fungi before, I mean, you can just go out into your back garden probably and find some fungi.
You could, and if you put photographs onto the Isle of Man Fungus Group Facebook page, we can talk about them, and very often I try and track them down. I say, well, that's exciting. Let's find out what that is.
Marvellous. There we go then. So if you have been out in your garden and spotted something, why not take a picture? Pop it onto the website, and just sort of a nice clear picture, remembering that try and make it as good a picture as you can, and try and make it sure you can either show the cap or maybe the gills and the stem, something taken from 15 feet away and a bit blurry probably isn't going to cut the mustard. So try and do your best David Bailey with your iPhone or whatever you've got, so you get some of the details, so that the likes of Liz or the Fungi Group, Karen, can take a look and maybe give you an idea of what you've got. Well, the sun's out. We'll go and have a little foray, see what we can find. So there, we still haven't left the grassland yet. We're just assembling with the troops, but another lovely find, which is a spectacular specimen. Perhaps you'd like to describe it for us.
Yes, we found a shaggy parasol underneath the trees just over there. It's rather a spectacular fungi with a shaggy top. Sort of looks like, what did you say?
It's like sort of scaly, isn't it?
Yeah, sort of big scales and curled up. What's particularly noticeable is it's got a ring just under the cap, and this one is particularly thick, sort of double ring, and it's movable. You can sort of push it up and down.
Oh, it goes up the stem, yeah.
Yeah. And that's where the bottom of the cap was attached, and it's broken away. But what's really quite exciting about this one is it bruises red. So you can see here where I've squashed the cap a bit, the gills, they've all gone red.
They're quite distinct, isn't it?
And on the stem again, it's almost sort of looking like it's bleeding, poor thing. I get a nice big bulb at the base. Again,
Yes,
this one's been collected properly, so we can see what the bulb's like, which was underneath the soil, very bulbous. And then just the stem very, very gradually tapering up to the top.
And these are all, as you say, all key points when you look at these species. The bruising there, you're saying, you can see the ring moving up and down the stipe there. And equally, as you say, rather than just sort of cutting it off at ground level, it's important to see where it's come from underneath.
Yes, and the other thing to look for is how these gills are attached. And you can see these ones don't go quite to the stem. They're just hanging slightly off it, which is called free. There we are. Free gills. Yes, as it said, and then quite a distinctive cap, as we said before, which is sort of broken, really. Yeah, it's sort of cascading down.
It is, isn't it?
But nice big fungus.
Marvellous. And it's getting back to what you just said, Liz, as well, isn't it? It's just the beauty of some of the fungi, the different types and the sizes and the colours and the smells. They are just in their own right an absolute thing of beauty. Right, there we go, you see. We could just stay here all day, I think, but we are actually going to go to this other spot, I promise you. We will get there. So we have actually made it out to our foray. It's the new land, if you're interested, that Manx Wildlife Trust has taken on a reserve at the back of Glen Alden. And just on the bank to the right here, there is a spectacular fungi, gone over a little bit. But Liz from the Fungi Group is intrepidly going to take a look and see if you can see what it is. Or is it a rustler of some kind, is it? Or
It's a rustler,
blackening rustler.
And there's some bolete.
Oh, nice. So what's the bolete?
Look, caps. Here's a nice one there. A web cap.
A web cap as well?
Brittle stems.
Wow. So caught in there, so another bolete just down there of some kind, isn't there? Just on the... There we are. Gone a bit past it, I think. So again, just in a short area, just on the bank, you can hear the river running below us. And some boletes, some rusula, some cortinarius. So So we've barely gone anywhere yet. I mean, this is the incredible thing with fungi. If you go out at this time of the year in the right conditions, they are everywhere. But it is a little bit like getting your eye in, as they say. And that's, if you just go walking and aren't looking, you'd walk straight past them. If you're looking for them, and once you see one or two, then you suddenly see more. But always remember, obviously, if you're going out, take pictures. Maybe take one or two specimens if you're wanting to find out, or take pictures if you're not sure, and post them on the Manx Fungi Group Facebook page. And the chances are one of Liz or Karen or one of the experts there will be able to help you out. But obviously don't take lots. Always make sure that leave as many as you can. And just take one or two if you need to for identification purposes. We'll go on a little bit further up, I think, and see what we can find. So paddling up, you can still tell that we're paddling through water a bit. As I say, wellies to the fore on this one, or at least good boots. And with David Bellamy from Manx Wildlife Trust, you can tell he's at the trust because he's the only person here just wearing a shirt. Very brave man. Where are we for this foray today?
So we're just at the entrance to Glen Alden Nature Reserve, which is Manx Wildlife Trust's latest acquisition, just bought in May of this year.
So it's a fair size, this, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 1,124 acres, so it's our largest reserve by far.
And so what's the long-term aim with this? Because I think, is this sort of feeding into this whole idea of the Ramsey Forest project?
In a sense, yes. We're trying to create a tree-rich landscape in the north of the island, and this is part of our temperate rainforest recovery programme.
And so it's great to have the Manx Fungi Group up here today, presumably to add to the database of exactly what sort of fungi is actually on the site.
Yeah, it's a site we've never done a fungi survey here, so as we with any new acquisition, we want to get to know as much as we can, which will guide our future management. So we've had a lichen survey done this year, bird surveys, habitat surveys, and now a fungi survey today.
And it's great to actually see there's a good turnout here today. I know you've been on quite a few forays before. Are you a fungi man? Are you sort of building on your own knowledge of the fungi of the island?
Always, I know very, very little about fungi, and there's a huge number of species that we have on the island. Today we're looking at woodlands, which is definitely not my area. I'm more fungi of grassland habitats is kind of more my area of knowledge.
But again, it's just an important part, as we were saying with Liz at the beginning. It's sort of perhaps underrated in a lot of people's eyes, but the important part that fungi plays in any of these sort of ecosystems.
Yeah, really, really important as nature's recyclers and for nutrient exchanges in all these habitats. And I say a huge number of species of fungi inhabit the Isle of Man, and we're only really just scratching the surface now.
It is incredible, I must admit. And you think, I don't know how long we've allowed, but I'm slightly worried about every 3 paces everyone stops for about 5 minutes because there's another one to look at. So the richness is incredible.
We're going faster than the lichen survey. We covered 6 metres in the first hour for that survey.
Have you invited them back?
We need a few years, I think.
Oh dear.
And this is just different stages of it.
There's lots of different stages of honey
okay.
fungus and a little bracket down here. Nice log.
So honey fungus at the back, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is something people might see again in your gardens or whatever. So the honey fungus is a classic sort of rotter again, is it?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's actually probably parasitic on the plant, actually. It can cause the death of the trees, so that makes it parasitic rather than a rotter, I think.
And then some little tiny bracket fungi down there, like little
Could be turkey tail.
turkey tail or
Very
something
early.
similar. Loads around there, isn't there?
That mottling on the oak leaf, that's another fungus.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh right, look at that.
It's not very clear on that one, but it can be.
But a fungus itself just on the oak leaf.
Yeah.
Look at that. Yeah.
Part of the process of rotting down oak leaves.
Sort of scrambled up onto a bank. Lots of scrambling going on these forays. You need wellies or good boots if you're going out foraging or on a fungus foray, because it's usually wet and muddy and yeah, there's scrambling around banks and such like. But another wonderful, well, looks like it's gone over somewhat, but a bolete just here at my feet. or a blowitch of some kind, and you can tell that they have, instead of gills, usually just have what sort of looks like a sort of sponge type tubes type arrangement. And then also just behind me a puffball, which everyone has seen. In fact, only the other day I found some giant puffballs, and if you see those, they are spectacular because they are literally giant. Is a good name for them because they could be easily the size of a football or bigger, and these were certainly football sized, which is bigger than your average. And that's the great thing again with so many of the fungi kingdom, is the massive difference in size from microscopic through to macroscopic, I suppose you'd say. Something, yeah, at least the size of a football, or some of the bracket fungi like the dryad saddle you see at this time of the year can be huge, like massive umbrellas growing out the side of trees. Every shape, size, colour, texture, and, as we were saying before, smell you could imagine.
Red, not cream, flesh underneath.
Wow,
Ah.
love that.
Recently confused with the red cracking ballet.
Okay.
Oh, we've got
Oh, it sounds like we've got to take it with us and get it sorted
Yeah.
out
Go
then,
and take
doesn't
it.
it?
Have you got a Latin name for
Yes.
So you'll have to take that back and do a spore print. And
Deletus.
I don't know whether you'll need... I don't think you get a spore print from that. It's just too old.
No.
The slugs had a go at it. So what we'd do is we'll cut it through, see the colour change in the flesh. You can split the boletes between the ones that have tubes that tear and tubes that don't tear.
Mhm.
So we'll track it down.
So it'll be a case of taking it back to the lab or whatever and doing a bit of sort of trying to key it out, as it were.
Yes, keying it out is the secret. And of course, Nev would say, you need a better specimen than that, really.
That's easier said than done, isn't it? Yeah, that one's definitely seen better days, hasn't it? But
Yeah.
it's still got the distinctive characteristics there, I guess. You got the cap, you still got the sort of tubes underneath, you got the stem
Yeah.
and the base.
I've got the base right
Yeah.
down to the bottom.
Yeah. So marvellous.
Lovely crackings.
Great, beautiful on
Cap.
top there, yeah. Gorgeous. Like a Bengal cat.
So
Well,
possibly
it does
a couple of
say,
things.
you know, coniferous, woodland, widespread and common.
Okay, right, we'd better make a note.
That's why I said I haven't seen one cracking that much.
That's another one. We've still only come, I don't know, not that far. But as apparently we're going faster than the lichen group, so it's got to be good, isn't it?
I think that one needs to be looked at. I think we
You can see
rescued
it's just turning a little bit blue, can't you?
Yeah, it is a bit, isn't it?
So maybe that is the babe elite.
It's just turning a little bit.
Yeah, I like
It's very small, but
it.
Yeah.
It is very small, yes.
You put my glasses on again.
Oh, well, that one, is that,
What number at all?
that's not a,
Pot number. No, it's going in compartment 9.
I think that's a deceiver.
is it a little deceiver, is it? I was wondering if it was or not.
Is it a deceiver?
Is that
yeah, that's
little
a deceiver.
Lactarius?
Yes,
It is,
yes,
yeah.
that's a deceiver.
Well, like I said, it's, as Liz commented a few moments ago, and as you might have gathered, it's identification by committee, as it were, by teamwork, perhaps, which is not necessarily a bad thing if you're going out, and it's fine if you've got an expert like Ned, Paul Kenny or someone with you, but if there's a group like the Fungi Group here, with people, some with really good knowledge, some with a little bit of knowledge, some with not much knowledge, wanting to learn more, it's a great way of people coming up with different ideas. So the people who might know more might be questioned and say, well, is it that? And those who know less might actually try and make a few notes and things about things they might see in the future. Not a bad way of doing it, going out with a group rather than just on your own with a book and the camera or the like. Well, we're doing fairly well, and the sun's still shining, so that's good.
So no spots on the top.
Oh, it's a little amanita.
It's an amanita. And it's got a cap at the base. It's got a ring. Oh, I don't know. It has got a bit of a spot. Oh, it's got bits. It's got maybe a fragment of. That makes it either a panther cap or what's it called? Excelsior spissa, so maybe it's Amanita excelsa. I think that's quite likely to be it. So Amanita, oily bed bugs again. A lot of
Smell that, Liz. I don't believe
You
you.
don't believe it smells of oily
No.
bed bugs? Well, you have to know what oily bed bugs smell
That's
like.
the
to
catch,
start
isn't it?
with.
Yeah, yeah. Hands up.
It's oh, that's another Rossula. Bricklegill.
Or Intrepid River Explorer. What's
Oh, that's
his
nice,
name?
isn't
Mike
Mike. He found that.
found that. Okay,
It's a what? I'll tell him.
it's a bricklegill.
Another brittlegill. These just common earth balls again over here, do you reckon?
It's the citrinus again. I don't know if it's that's the name for the common earth ball or not, but it's citrinus. We found them further up.
Are they the puffballs?
They are the puff balls.
There's two over there
Yeah.
as well.
Anybody want to see this Amanita? I think it may be Amanita excelsa. It's got slight tendency to have spots on the cap, judging by this. It's got a ring, so it's not a grisette, which was my first thought. So slugs had most of it.
Yeah, there was one here.
There still remains of a ring at the bottom of that one, and the cap. I mean, well, what's it called? The vulva. The vulva on that, and so I think I would put it down as excelsa. There are two different vars of spissa and excelsa var excelsa, I think. And that was a brittlegill.
That looks like the variable, doesn't it?
It does a bit. I'm not sure whether I'm going to take that or not.
I've got two already for the russulas.
I'd prefer to have a better specimen.
Well, mine's small but perfectly formed.
Yeah. What do you reckon, Rosa? That's another of the oily bed bugs.
We've all been having a broad.
Do not eat me that one.
It might be that suede capped one.
Oh, that suede. It's got a lovely. It has got quite a. There's another one there.
Oh, I don't know. Look how red that is.
Gorgeous, isn't it?
Great colour. Oh, I do love cutting them.
Yes.
I can't
It is,
resist
it is terribly satisfying, particularly if you get that lovely. Look at that. Oh wow. Look at the
Right.
colours in that.
Custard underneath and plums in the stalk, but it's
Beautiful.
definitely not plums and custard.
No, but fantastic colour. Just gorgeous. Look at that.
Any
And
colour change?
well, it's been cut in half, so this is cut it top to toe here, and it's not actually changing colour. Gone blue by now. Normally it was one of those blue staining ones, but it's not.
The flesh underneath, just under the cap skin, has gone red from where the slug ate it, but we've got no colour change in
Nothing at all.
the yellow flesh. Beautiful yellow.
Gorgeous.
And a dark plum suede cap.
Lovely.
No smell? Well, not really.
Nothing discernible. So two the same, you reckon, that one and that one? I assume they are. Well, there you go. You see, you can't always, and this is the thing, instantly identify things as soon as you find them in the field. Sometimes you can find out whether it is indeed what genus it's in, whether it's Agaricus or whether it's Cortinarius or a bolete or such like, but actually getting it down to individual species can be slightly trickier and might require more detailed investigation. And by that I mean taking it back, as Liz and Karen and members of the group do, and doing things like spore prints, finding spore colours, spore size, shape, and then of course we're getting on to the murky world of microscopy. I say murky, it's fascinating, but it is quite detailed, and obviously you need a microscope, which not everyone has, although the group does have access to them, and then keying things out. But it is absolutely fascinating, he says, falling over, but it can take over your life, that's all I'd say. It's not the fastest thing in the world to do necessarily. Right, well, we're still going strong.
The yellow at the
Oh,
bottom.
another bolete.
Look at the yellow at the bottom.
Oh, it's gorgeous. And this one we reckon is the pepper bolete, a hot pepper bolete.
Lovely. Look at it's like it's not round, is it?
Yeah, very
not-
yellow at the base.
So we try a nibble of this and spit it out. It's really hot and
Yeah, go on.
right. Let's try a little wee bit.
You might need a bit of the pause. It's
Oh yeah,
pretty the yellow.
there is a pause. And then yeah,
Yeah.
definite hit of
I think it's the only one. We don't need it.
definite hit of spice on that.
I think
Yeah.
it's the only belief which actually has got that.
Well,
And
just make sure you spit them out if you're not sure. As always, we see in any of these things, never ever eat anything you're not sure of. It's just a golden rule. But you can, with some of these species, if you're looking at them as Karen was demonstrating there, and had a go myself, sometimes you can actually have a little nibble of something. As long as you spit it out afterwards, because sometimes the taste can be an identifier. And in that case, yes, a delayed reaction. And that after the first few seconds, nothing, and then suddenly you get a real hit of, rather like you popped a chili in your mouth, that sort of feeling. Quite distinctive.
Got a bit of moss to go with it.
So what have we
I
got
think
here?
it's an ivory bonnet ?
An ivory bonnet. So these are tiny, so just unlike the other ones, I've got my hand lens here, and so take a tiny look.
1 centimetre? No, less than 1 centimetre.
Oh, less, isn't it? Yeah. Half a centimetre maybe, yeah. Perhaps a bit over. Gosh, and pure white all the way through as far as I can see.
Yeah, that's a rather older one of the same things. Gone a bit cream coloured.
And so will these be taken back then for a bit of identification,
Karen will
I think?
look at the structures on the gill faces, and those are called cystidia, and they're all different shapes, very distinctive. Some of them seem to have fingers, and some of them have...
So this is where we're down to the murky world of microscopy, as they say, and it's yes, a different...
Very murky.
Yeah, enter at your peril, as they say. But it's necessary sometimes. Right. Right, heading back from the foray, you can still hear the river on the side there. Wet underfoot, but highly successful. And the actual forays, if people are interested in going on a fungal foray, and stress this isn't going collecting things for the pot, this is to go out and find what species are around, take a check of them, find them out. What's the best way if people want to find out more, Liz?
Well, our Facebook page has a link to our membership form, and then we circulate the forays details to our members. That's the way that it works now.
Okie doke. And so mostly this is through the sort of usually back end of the summer and through to sort of autumn, early winter.
Oh yes, yes. Sometimes we have events at other times, and we also have our AGM, and there may be other opportunities to learn about fungi during the year, but most of the activity is in the autumn.
So there you are. If you're out and about this back end, and if you're having a walk, if you've looked at fungi before, maybe if you've never looked at fungi before, you go out and enjoy a ramble in the country. Keep your eyes open, see what you can see. As Liz said, if you're interested, take a picture of something, you can pop it onto the Facebook page, and particularly you can show the stem and the cap and the gills. Might have a chance of someone telling you what it is. Or you might find you start a lifetime of interest in fungi, the unsung heroes of the natural world. Definitely a wild thing. On WILDMANN.
Wild thing